one Larry.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Big Idea Podcast. We're really happy today to have Abdul and Abe with us. Anybody that's watched Lethal Sales has seen Abdul. And man, his partner Abe is about as sharp as you can imagine. And they're going to tell us these days what they're doing, how they're transforming sales, and how they're helping everybody with everything. So without further ado, Abe, Abdul, whoever would like to go first, and welcome to our show. We're thrilled that you're here.
Go ahead, Abdul. Hello, everyone, dear friends. And Abe, you already know Larry and Gary, and introduce you, Michael. And it's a great team that I've been fortunate enough to be associated for the last 10 months. And Abe is one of innovators and one of the early, AI experts in the field from a long time ago. And I'm pleasure to be part of this meeting. And Abe will tell you all we do for not only for automotive, because he's involved in several other platforms, but he's dedicated about 10 platforms to our automotive industry, from sales to F&I to service and, of course, fixed ops and leads. Whatever you can think of is Abe at Samzala is at your disposal, at your service.
Wonderful. Well, why don't you make it very easy and basic for our listeners, Abe, and tell them what do you do? Exactly what do you do and how do you do it? Because we've hyped you up pretty good, and we want them all to hear how you do your magic.
Well, thank you for having me. Abe Nasser. I've been in the industry for almost 3 decades, but I've been involved with AI around 11 years. I started with traditional AI with Google Assistant. Later on, I was part of a small startup company that focused on data analytics by using traditional AI, and that was acquired by IBM. So when I became part of IBM, Watson focused in AI for IT operation. For many years, I was responsible for IBM strategic partners. And when generative AI hit the market, obviously there were opportunities. So I started Zamzilla, which is focused in AI, but instead just talking about the hype of AI, we're trying to resolve some of the major challenges, real life experiences, so that it actually boosts revenue, reduces costs, and automate the workflow. So feel free to stop me and have any questions that you may have. As you can see, I have already uploaded the presentation that I would like to share with you. And I'll be talking about the agentic dealership and how AI is transforming sales, service, and customer acquisition. So before I start, do you have any question?
My only question would just be just to mention, we try to keep the podcast for right around a half an hour so we get more eyes on it. So just keep one eye on the clock as you show everybody what you bring to the table, please.
Sounds good. So yeah, go ahead.
I'm leaning in because you're going to educate and I'm learning. So very cool. Welcome, Abe. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, as you know, AI is moving so fast, so it's a moving target. We're all learning even as we speak and try to share the knowledge with others. So as I mentioned, I'm not going to discuss, it's not about AI hype, but it's really about real agentic system. We have built over 70 agentic apps across different platforms, Google, Amazon, and many others. So this session will be focused on new cars, used cars, and how agentic AI can help finance and services. So, but what is the problem? What are we trying to solve, right? So, we all know that dealerships are losing time, lead, and revenue. And some of the challenges are that 40 to 60% of inbound call goes to unanswered situation. Internal leads takes time marketing spend is wasted because of the change of GU and SCU, SEO, and also well, the strategy is really not, fully planned and organized. So the other aspect is, I want to kind of talk about what is an agentic dealership. So basically, it's to automate the entire workflow from answering calls to qualify buyers, generate appointments, follow up, and all those other tasks that are required in a dealership. So we have a platform called Cars AIX. So we call it as an agentic platform. What it does, it performs buyer discovery. It allows you to create an agent that negotiate on behalf of buyer or on behalf of the dealership. It automates the whole workflow from financing to marketing, and so it's a public entity that can be utilized and actually see it in person, online, and experience the workflow. The other platform we have is Autoplace that allows you to generate leads and opportunity. So it's a national platform which drives the traffic. So when we build local dealership, what it does, it actually utilizes our national platform as a backlink to drive local traffic. And those who are in marketing and generative engine optimization, or those who are familiar with traditional SEO, search engine optimization, they understand that the value of backlinks are very important. So I'm going to escape some of the slides because of the time. But I'm going to stop, for example, on Phone AIX. What is it? It's basically allows entities to create their agent with just a few clicks. So what it means, so it allows you to create inbound calls made by agents, AI agents. It allows you to do outbound calls or answer to those phones. So it's like a call center, but with agentic solution, with AI-driven capabilities and automation. So the value of that is that it basically, allows you to do recovery of the missed calls. It allows you to create a schedule and book appointments, and all can be done or set up within minutes instead of weeks and months of efforts. Same thing, it will help service organization, finance, and all those. For example, finance can utilize this tool to actually pre-qualify buyers. Leads AIX is similar platform and generates leads and opportunities, but support is really great because if you go to supportaix.com and click on the app, you will experience how easy it is to actually create a system where every inbound call become an appointment. So it makes life much easier. The other aspect is, we don't just create a template or a mold and ask dealership to actually fit in. We give them the opportunity to give us their requirements so we can build the exact system or meet the exact requirements that they have, whether they wanted to integrate within their own CRM, DMS, or their own phone system or website. It can be done we're talking about within days instead of weeks, months, or years. So,
and let me just say that with AI changing at the speed of light, you don't want to wait weeks and months.
Exactly. And I think, what's important, and I because you brought up something really important, is that when 500 million jobs are lost to AI, at the same time, AI allows many of those that actually lost their jobs to create their own businesses, whether they're in the automotive, in the service, because AI allows you to click, and launch a new app, a new business. But what's important is who's going to know that you exist? Who's going to know that you have an app? So it's really not about, even though I speak a lot about features, capabilities, and automation, but at the end is who's going to know that your product exists and can be found. And that is what makes us really different than the others. Is not only we built robust, scalable solution that is customizable to each dealership, to each geographic location, but it also can be found. We have proven record that we generate a lot of unique traffic, the ability to actually create, because the recipe to generate leads and opportunities first to have the traffic. And if you are not visible, and if you cannot drive the traffic, then you're going to spend a lot of money to advertisement that the ROI pretty much does not exist there.
Well, it's right. What we're seeing right now is that there's a lot of it that's going nowhere. And, you know, the dealers are spending lots of money, and the old vendors can't even give them any proof. And now, so AI, as we've been learning, it serves it up beautifully. So I love it. So continue on, Abe.
Yeah. The other thing is we don't want to make or tie the dealership or vendors with long term agreement. Basically, our approach is, you know, let's try and see the value of whether it really benefits you, you know, and then we gave them the opportunity because they're going to get some discounts if they sign up for long term. But our approach is, you know, if it doesn't benefit you, why would you keep paying? So it gave them the opportunity to try it, to see the value, and we have seen that the majority of our customers, they're staying very, very long time.
Yeah, but Abe, that might be a mistake, because from what I've seen, dealers love to waste money on things that don't work.
Well, I'm learning. You know, you're the expert. So same, because it's not about just you know, one department. One of the challenges are that the dealership, they're connected with so many tools, with so many apps, with so many pieces, and they don't work as an ecosystem. So with our 70 apps, which are already integrated, they have the choice whether they want to get the lead system, lead generation tool, whether they want to utilize our own CRM, or they want to be utilizing our bridge that connects to any tool that they're already using. So our system, you know, like the finance department is very tightly integrated with all these leads and opportunities that they come with the phone system, because they all work as a, you know, cohesive system, as an ecosystem together. And they have to have a single dashboard so that they can share the knowledge and success or any failure that they may be.
Hey, you nailed this, because I'm in dealerships all the time, and the receptionist is always paging for somebody in finance to pick up the phone. The finance managers are back to back 3-4 deep with customers, and they can't come up for air. And so this is extremely valuable, because most finance managers, when they're busy, they don't answer the phone. They don't want to know what's on the other end. And so this support is desperately needed.
Thank you. So for the service department, so obviously you have been in this business for a very long time. You know, this actually agentic AI or AI-driven solution reduces the no-shows and increases the repair order count. As I mentioned, it automates the scheduling. I mean, if someone calls, for example, if you call Zamzilla right now, we have trained our model, our AI, to actually be able to convince the caller to set up an appointment. So that goal, that idea is just to make an appointment so that we have a discovery. Same thing with a dealership. It's very important that they bring the customer to the dealership.
I'm gonna plug this even more. I'm not gonna name dealerships. I'm not gonna name it. My Ford, my car, is at the end of its term, and I want to decide on whether I want to buy it, sell it, turn it in. I went to a dealership. I made an appointment. They set me up in the system, and then it was for 9:30 this morning. I never got any notifications. I never got anything. I missed the appointment. I didn't go, so I had a no-show, and no one's contacting me. So there again, in the service drive, they're not following up. And this is very important because that's where all the money is. No one follows up on service, sales, trades. So you're preaching to the choir. So continue on, Abe. Thank you.
Sure. So this is interesting, this slide, because, I, as a software engineer, as a solution architect, I remember that we used to work on projects that required maybe 20 team members, software engineers, QA, system integrators, product managers, project managers. And we built the solution within 2 years, for example, that needed or required almost $20+ million. And it's really interesting is that for someone with my background, it allows my team to actually build similar solution, probably much better, with the scalability, security, with automation within days and weeks.
Yeah.
So we're in a totally different era where what used to take millions and millions of dollars, now you can actually create the same system at fraction of the cost within weeks. Sometimes, I posted on my social media that it actually, sometimes it takes days. But what's important is not just creating this, front-end app that basically just is a visual tool, but the ability to be scalable, to be able to, truly resolve some of the real life experiences. And that's what we do. So here, while we build our own CRM, we build our own complete end-to-end solution, but we have the ability to integrate with the dealership CRM system that they have, whether it's eLead, or dealer socket, or any other tool. We can easily integrate with the DMS systems. If they like to keep their phone system but utilize our agentic inbound and outbound call, we can integrate with that too. Because our goal is not to completely replace the investment that they already made. And so we actually help them to bring more value to the investment that they already done. Or if they want us to integrate with their own website or inventory. So that is the value that we bring. And we have seen it across different service industries that our customers basically, they boost their appointments, they boost their answered calls, they basically reduce, the response time. So these are the value that we bring. We're the at the beginning of this industrial revolution 4.0, which is all about AI and automation. And the main purpose, I think a lot of dealership needs to be on board is to reduce cost with these automation, to boost their revenue. And I think it's very important to be much sooner because it's going to be much more difficult to actually compete in a GEO when someone is already publishing automated blogs or improving their search ranking and building authority and dominate the market. It's going to be much tougher to actually go later on. So now is the time to get on board.
What's the easiest way for people to get a hold of you or Abdul? I mean, we have your phone numbers at the bottom. What's your preference? What's the easiest way that you can be reached so you can help the dealers?
Yeah. The best way is to, they can text me, they can email me. I will send them the discovery session, because what we need is a very short 30-minute discovery session to see what value or what challenges that they have and what value we can bring, so we can have a very short conversation. I think that would be the best way to have a 30-minute session, and they can either text me, call me, or even send an email.
Abe, so Gary and I are not the most technologically advanced guys, but we do have our secret weapon with Mike Larkin. Mike, do you have some questions for Abe or for Abdul?
Abe, I was on a clubhouse meeting yesterday, and a very influential lady, April Simmons, was on. And I asked her point blank, April, 2 years ago, you said in this room that your ultimate with AI is to get all of your tools talking together. In other words, working together. And you addressed that a little bit. But it's like, how was it then compared to how it is now? And she said something rather shocking to me. She says it's worse.
I think what's important is this. When AI makes mistakes, when AI makes assumptions, when AI makes, hallucinations, it's not the problem with AI. It's the problem with the person who actually designed it. They rushed to actually deliver the product. So, we all know, or we should know, that AI doesn't have any intention. So it's really not logical to blame it to AI. It's the design that actually fails. Okay. So one of the things we have done, and it really, when I say things, I want to kind of show you the, experience that we have had, the results that we get. And so, for example, we built AI classes.io that allowed you to utilize AI to create courses and teach courses by AI. And if you failed, AI will create tutoring. And if you were successful, AI will generate certificate. Same thing, AI exam.io allowed you to create your own certification. And if you passed it, you would get a certification. And then we had other tools. What we did is we built a platform called AI HireX. So what it does, it works as a coherence, as an ecosystem where you go basically build your career by creating and taking these courses, that are you create by using AI. And then when you pass, obviously it will create a resume for you based on the background that you have and based on the certification. And it will actually go connect HR teams from these companies that are actually looking for those kind of certifications. So what I'm saying is, when we talk about agentic world, they really work with each other. They really work well as long as they are designed well. So you can go to AIHireX.com, and you can actually see how the whole system works when it used to take, hundreds or even thousands of people. Now the system actually works with each other agentically. That is the concept of agents, where every agent work with each other. They even go and negotiate on your behalf to buy a car. So
This
that is,
Abe,
yeah.
I have, you've just said some things, and this is things that we've been talking about, but it seems that it's here that if we have like a sales process or a training process, that we can have the agentic do the training, and then it takes away from a busy sales manager or a busy. So those are what I'm seeing would be very, very helpful to have those kind of apps that if somebody keeps on, not handling the process properly in the dealership, they've got to go and do some modules and do some training and understand which would have been a better way of handling that particular situation. How far are we away from those kind of things?
Well, again, this is something really important. We have, tens of service companies that, for example, in plumbing, in other businesses, we actually allow them to build their own agentic module. That means, for example, they would just go and talk to the system and say, well, build me a booking system so we can actually capture, these information. They were just talking without technical knowledge. And then they build it and easily was able to do cut and paste and place them in their website. But what we have learned is that, it's best for them to focus on growing their business rather than getting involved, no matter how easy it is, even if it requires for them to just speak, right? It requires some training because prompt engineering is already a major field that most people don't even know how to ask a question from an AI. So you brought something really important. What we do is they don't need to worry about those. We can actually customize that agent. For example, if they want to create an agent where it goes every day and reads news, and based on those articles that are published to take an action, maybe send an email or send an SMS or whatever that purpose is, we will be able to create that for them. So once the platform is really creating these agents, it takes sometimes hours and sometimes days. So it's really a rapid process.
That's exciting. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Mike, what, you have any questions, Mike?
I was hearing about the traffic that you guys provide. How is it that you're using the EEAT to provide that traffic? Because some of these dealerships are going to disappear. Their phones are not going to be ringing anymore. And they don't realize the power of what Google and the AIs announced. This is the way to travel. And if you don't, you're going to be invisible.
Yeah, I think those days are gone where people used to go, and search near me restaurants. They don't do that. They actually go and say, find me an Italian restaurant that is romantic and it's within my $100 budget. That is what the search is. It's contextual. It's basically a conversation. So with our phone AIX, with our support AIX platform, basically every call become a conversation. Now, in terms of search, we already know that, Google actually already announced that over 35% of all these searches are now conversational. That means they ask ChatGPT, Gemini, and that's a conversational. Nobody really can say with 100% certainty what's going to happen, next moment, but let alone next year. But we kind of figured it, we kind of thought about it a long time ago, that it's very important to build these backlinks, to build national platform. We have built over 200 platform that allows us to help local dealership to be in the forefront of these unique visitor generate, organic traffic. And you have to be an authority in order to build the trust with ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity and all those others. So it's really important to work with those entities that have proven record, right? So that when you go there, how do you beat, for example, New York Times or Forbes magazine and all those? Yes, you cannot beat them in national, but we have repeatedly have been performed much better when it comes to local market.
And Abe, I'm working with a few people, and they're talking very, very similar to what you're doing. They're doing it with the USA Today network, and they say that their authority is 96 to 98 on a scale of up to 100. So on the authority side, is that where your platform also falls?
So pretty much every platform locally that we have built, we don't guarantee 100%, but what we say is we have 95 to 97% chance to succeed. When we say succeed, we dominate. Whether it's, I don't want to mention names, but whether these are local directories, whether these are national platform, we actually been repeatedly much successful than,
Awesome.
than those.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and that's the future, and that is getting those guys out of everybody's backyard.
Right.
So that was great. I know we're a little over on time, but boy, Abe, thank you very much. I got a much better idea of what you're doing, and it's awesome. And
thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure to have you and Abdul. Maybe we'll have you on as a follow-up in a little while just to see how things are progressing, and we'll certainly push you in any direction that we possibly can. And we really appreciate you joining us today.
But I got one last thing too, Lair. Anybody in my market, in the Connecticut market, their Cars AIX is a free platform. You guys can put your inventory up on there, and the only thing you get charged for is if the car gets sold eventually, there's a $300 cost on that. We can download it. We can put you in, because I know everybody needs more leads and more visibility, and this one's available so we can kind of start working together and seeing what we do to generate more activity. So,
Exactly.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. Greatly appreciate it, and looking forward to a long-term relationship.
Gentlemen, thank you so kindly. And on behalf of Mr. Silman and Mr. Larkin, we're very glad we had you on. Everybody stay healthy.
Have a good
Thank you.
weekend,
Have a
guys.
great week.
Take it easy.
Thank you so much.
Go Yukon.
Oh, yeah.